Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we are playing Blue-Green Birthing Ritual with no reserve list cards. You can build this deck for a few $100s. Let's take a look at what Birthing Ritual does. First, this is an enchantment. It's 1 green, 1 colorless. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature, look at the top 7 cards of your library, then you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, you may put a creature card with mana value X or less from among those cards onto the battlefield, where X is 1 plus the sacrificed creature's mana value. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So, in essence, what we're doing is we're playing a bunch of cheap blue creatures that die easily to Birthing Ritual, and then we bring a creature with 1 mana higher mana value into the battlefield. So the way we're doing that is essentially like our Tamios and our Phantasmal Shieldbacks get upgraded into Coiling Oracles or Ice Fangs, and then those get upgraded into Abhorrent Oculus. We can also warp a Riddler and then sacrifice the Riddler to get an Abhorrent Oculus as well, or to get a Riddler that's not going to be warped out. So there are lots of cool tricks you can do with this if you resolve it. The entire deck is built around this card. It is a no reserve list, as I mentioned, so it's playing a lot of land. It's not playing Ponder. It's playing 25 creatures, all of which are blue, and all of which sacrifice to this very cool Force of Will effect, Flare of Denial, also from Modern Horizons 3. It's an instant. You may sacrifice a non-token blue creature rather than pay this spell's mana cost counter target spell. So that's unconditional. Any spell. It doesn't matter when you're doing it. You can do it during your own turn, unlike Force of Negation. So this is very powerful. And even if you look at the mana value, it's just like 2 blue and 1 colorless. So you can very easily hard cast this mid-game. So the name of the game is Get Birthing Ritual, but we have some fallbacks in that we have Quantum Riddler. We could just warp that, draw some cards, and eventually cast it and win with that. We have Abhorrent Oculus. If after attempting a Birthing Ritual we have a stacked graveyard, we can resolve this and potentially win with this. And we have Icefang Quaddle, which will likely get Death Touchy considering we're almost all basics here. And then I do have 2 Hedge Mazes as lands we can fetch if we just want to surveil. I didn't like playing the Shockland in this one, and I think Hedge Maze is a little bit better because it helps you bin, which helps you get to Abhorrent Oculus sooner. Sideboard is a bunch of Harbinger of the Seas. These are very good against beans and lands. I've got the 4 Force Negations, 4 Consign to Memory. Phantasmal Image is an interesting one. It's really just here to deal with Bowmaster, which completely wrecks our deck. So I've got 1 main and 2 in the sideboard, and then we've got a couple Dismembers as honorary blue removal. Let's get to the first round. I want to thank Punishing Waterfalls for creating this deck. He built a really cool build, and it is essentially he's playing with dual lands. So I took his list and I simplified it a little bit, and I'll link to his list as well. You should check out his channel. He's got some leagues of himself playing this list, or a similar list as well. Round 1, we're against an unknown opponent. I like this hand a lot. It's got lands and spells. Let's keep it. Being on the play is nice too. I think this is just Prismatic Vista Pass. I like this because this can surveil, but I don't necessarily need to surveil right now, and I do want to get Death Touch online. I would hate to have my early development stifled by a Wasteland, and the use of Stifle there is intentional. Hopefully they don't have Stifle here. Bobble, so likely just Delver. Looking at their top card before they fetch probably, and then Delver's going to come out probably. Okay, interesting. I don't need more lands probably. I guess I can wait and draw. I don't mind drawing lands. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and play this out and pass, and I don't have to play either of these into Force or Daze if I don't need to. They haven't done anything over there. Also note that, like, because my deck tech was a little long, I'm already down like 3 minutes. Okay, DRC, that's fine. So I'm going to attempt to... Am I going to attempt to Ice Fang in the end step? I don't think I need to. I think I can just wait. And then I don't have to worry about it getting dazed. Okay. So we're just picking up more interaction. I will pass to their turn just in case they attack, and then I can take it out with an Ice Fang. No reason to tip my hand here. But Double Force is nice, and Flare of Denial can potentially be good, but it's really best with the shield back. Okay, so they don't have a Wasteland. I don't think I need to worry about them doing anything funky here. I'm just going to go ahead and flash this in. We're in. We draw a card. Okay, and they're going to bolt immediately, probably. That's fine. I think... So this bolt is targeting that, of course. I mean, this might actually be a place where I want to force. I can force pitch force and then trade with this. That's pretty strong. I think I'm going to do that. I really want to get this off the table. There aren't that many cards that I need a force in their deck. They spell Pierce. Okay, well, that's a cool card that I did not expect. So they surveil. They keep. Okay, they've got it. It's still just a 1/1, so we're not taking any extra damage here. All right, so I've got my 3 lands guaranteed. I don't want to draw any more lands. I'm just going to go ahead and fetch in the upkeep here. And then I can grab Surveillance with these other ones. Okay, wow. Getting really flooded. But you do have to play like 20 lands with this deck if you're not going to play drops. I've tried without it, and it's really, you struggle. Okay, so I can attempt this a second time here. Okay, another one. Brainstorm. This is really loading up their graveyard, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm going to let it go. If they do something that like I have to counter, I don't think that's going to happen this turn, but Flare of Denial can do something here. We're basically at the land amount that... Okay, interesting. They still don't have Delirium. They're going to fetch... Maybe they surveilled to try to get Delirium here. Maybe they cast another spell and that taps them out. Okay, wow, 3 of these things. Crazy. Well, I'm definitely going to want to trade with one. And unfortunately, this does mean that if I draw a Birthing Ritual, it's not going to do anything immediately, but I just need to stay alive. And I think that... oh, gosh. We're really flooding out over here. I do think it's worth just reducing their material because taking 9 next turn doesn't sound fun. Now these are Delirious. Let's go Surveil. First of probably many Surveils. We have our 3 Snow Basics out. So this is... I don't think this is good enough. We don't need land. We need like... I think if they had force, they would have fought there. I want to draw something that does something big. So I'm thinking exactly Oracle or Oculus or Riddler. And I can go ahead and try to find one of those here. Oculus would be great. If they force this, I'll actually flare it. Because I do need my cards here. My hand does nothing. I should have played out a land first. It was a minor punt. Because they won't be able to force and daze me. But the fact that they're thinking about this means they can probably force whatever I cast, which sucks. Okay, this is totally fine. So buy excess lands. So Icefang Coatl does do a lot of work here, but I'm going to hold it. And I'm just going to Oculus now with Force Up. And we will force to get this through. Okay, that's nice. It does just resolve. I can still, in the end step, Hedge Maze here. We're going to get... Okay, they scooped to that. Wow, that was great. I mean, Oculus is solid. It's a unit. Now we have to deal with Blasts. I haven't been making any side substitutions here. I think we could take out Phantasmal Image. It's just like not particularly strong here. We could bring in... I don't like bringing in Dismember. But taking 4 damage once to deal with a card is better than... I think I'm going to bring in that Harbinger just because we can lock them off red. Did we see green in their deck? I played... This is my 3rd round in a row. I did a warm-up league where I went 3-2. Yeah, they are playing Trop. So cutting them off... I don't know why, but 2 players today have been playing this list with a Trop in it. So I think that people are going back to Questing Druid as a card that they want to have in there so they can seek the beast. But I'm stunned people aren't just playing Boomerang Basics with Storm Chaser's talent. It's so good with DRC. So this hand is a trap hand. It just doesn't have mana. And like the Delver matchup is all about mana. Okay, we have 20 lands in our deck, and we did manage to find a hand with 2. So this is Phantasmal Shield back into Icefang Coatl, making land drops along the way. Oculus is pretty far away, but like, I mean, could they have 2 cards that we have to force? They could. It's definitely convenient to have this in your deck rather than in your hand, because if we do get the combo going, we'll want to find them, and having it in our hand is not helpful. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, we could get to Oculus here. I think I'm going to hold it just in case. We're on our back foot here, 100%. On the draw against Delver, never a good place to be. The fact that we won the die roll was probably instrumental in us surviving that previous game. They're fetching. Grafdigger's Cage. This does shut down the combo, so they know about our deck. That's why they played it. I'm not going to force that. I'll just win with other creatures and just ignore my Birthing Ritual plan if I draw it. So here, this is just, we can grab the Surveil if we absolutely need to, but I'm just going to grab the island, and then I've got Flare Denial up, and it'll cantrip when I use it on Phantasmal Shieldback. So shout out to my opponent, Nielsen 333, for recognizing that I'm on Ritual, and this is the best card to stop Ritual. But again, it is a 1 for 0 in the sense that, like, it's speculative. Okay, so Wasteland, that's not going to affect us negatively. Corey, I think this is just Flare. And if they want to fight this, be my guest. I get a card, and they don't get a trigger. There's the Birthing Ritual we don't want. We'll have to brainstorm that away later. Okay, we stopped the big bad card. So here, Harbinger of the Seas is very nice. I'm just going to main phase it because they don't seem to have days, and I don't want this to get days because I do want to get deeper into my deck. If they had days, they absolutely would have dazed that, I think. Unless they just have another one. Draw trigger. Land. Oh, okay. Well, maybe this will find a land. So at this point, I'm close enough to Oculus that I will pitch Harbinger here, but we can lock them off red, which is very, very cool. So 20 lands in your deck, but my goodness, if you don't like struggle to find them. My opponent's not having good luck with their lands. Hopefully we don't find a non-basic that can be wasted. Okay, that's great. So I'm going to go ahead and play this out. This is a turn where I could just Harbinger and lock them off red for the rest of the game. There's risk to doing that. If it fails, I can just Oculus and protect that. I think it's worth trying. But then I could just Oracle and it's safe. I think I'm just going to be a big coward and Oracle, so I can play around days completely. Okay, that's a nice draw. I will attack for 1. And then next turn, we can Ice Fang again. And by the way, we're going to have Death Touch on this, which is great if they have Merc. Okay, that's fine. We've got that covered. All right, wow. They are stalling out, and I am here for it. I'm going to leave this land in the deck because, no. I mean, I would like to find another land. So yeah, it makes sense to just wait. Okay, Shieldback is fine, but I think what I want to do, I could Ice Fang and Shieldback, and then Ice Fang will be there to stop this if they get Delirious. I think it's probably worth going ahead and trying the Harbinger here. And there's no need for a second green in my deck, so I can just do this and then... Yeah, let's just try it. I think they probably have Force and they're just reluctant to use it. Oh, wow, that just resolves. That's great. So we'll just come across with both. If they want to trade, they're welcome to. They just scooped. Wow. All right, we're 1-0. See you in round 2. Round 1, or round 2 rather. We're up against a likely red Stompy deck, which, you know, we do have these fetches. Obviously, our deck is like almost all basic lands, but we're on the draw and they could just turn 1 Blood Moon and we have to force. So I'll keep. I don't think that our hand's going to get much better. Like, we need to make sure we have a force effect. And we don't know that they're on that, but they've been on that for the past few months. All right, they're coming in with a Saga. And passing. Okay, so they have Ancient Tomb in hand. You can rest assured of that. You don't lead with Saga unless you have Ancient Tomb. Or I guess City of Traders. So the question is, do we want to lead with Phantasmal Shieldback or Tamio here? We definitely need to grab the island here. So I'll do that. Tamio is certainly the higher upside card. But we do have Birthing Ritual in hand. And Shieldback benefits from having Birthing Ritual, so I'm actually going to use this, and I'll probably just pitch Tamio to force. By the way, I know the UI is super laggy. I'll restart my computer. I tried restarting MTGO and it didn't work. So if you notice that the UI is very laggy, believe me, I'm painfully aware of this. Once we have Birthing Ritual out, Quantum Riddler becomes insane because it warps and then replaces itself with another Quantum Riddler or a eyeball monster. Most likely a pause as my opponent goes to, MTG Top 8 or MTG Goldfish and basically searches Phantasmal Shieldback. Like, what legacy decks is this in? I've never seen this card before. And again, I want to shout out Punishing Waterfalls, whom you should check out on YouTube. He does lots of exciting brews that inspire me. So the Shieldback has this cool like Battle of Thermopylae thing going on in the background. Like, nobody can get by the big Shieldback. Okay, another Urza Saga. Okay. Interesting. Like, you must have like a Mox or something. Yeah, I don't think that the hand was a keep based on your... Okay, well, we'll see. Maybe we're in for some surprises. I'm not going to attack. Well, I guess I can attack. It's free to attack. I'm definitely sacrificing this if this resolves, which I expect it to. I will force to make sure that it resolves. Okay, so let's go ahead and attack. Even if they make a dude, it's not a big deal. Like if they Simian Spirit Guide or something, I don't think there's anything they can do to stop this from getting through. Free damage. Let's go ahead and see what we find here. Always yield. It's rare that we whiff on creatures because we're playing 25 freaking creatures. I could just replace this with another Shieldback. That's totally fine. And we get a card for our trouble. And next turn, we'll have a creature that we can do this again to. Okay, so lots of lands. That's fine. Oh, they are going to create a dude. That's fine. I'm not too afraid of dying to these because Quantum Riddler like just outclasses it so handily. They can't needle this. It's a triggered ability, not an activated ability. So by seeing that, it confirms my suspicion that they're on Moon Stompy. Okay, Chrome Mox, that makes it bigger. I'm not going to force that. I want to force the actual action spells they're casting here. And if they try to turbo me, well, Ice Fang Coatl has a word to say with any constructs that are getting overly frisky. They're shocking this in, bolting it in rather. They put Magus of the Moon under here, seeing my basics. They're creating another dude. They can't attack for 4 here. Oh, they can attack for 9 here. Yeah, that's a lot of damage, but again, I am not going to be afraid. I'll take it. Next turn, they can pump out another one, and also, yeah, it's scary. It's scary, but we just need to keep our composure here. So I think what I do here, Abhorrent Oculus isn't ready to go out yet. Quantum Riddler, I can Tamio Quantum Riddler minus. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. She'll flip in the end step. So I don't want a Quantum Riddler with Tamio. I think I just Ice Fang with Tamio. Let's see. Yeah, because if she flips in the end step, I don't get to do anything with her. She's not very good in this deck, by the way. Like and you could absolutely cut her. And I'll probably show you a version after we finish the league of Tamio without, or the deck without Tamio. But I just wanted to have extra creatures in the deck. This is almost certainly dying. The odds of us whiffing are so low, but I think I actually hold it back just in case I whiff. And I can always keep this as a blocker if one of these other two whiffs. So I think what I do here is Ice Fang. This draws me a card. It gives me a body that trades with one of their minis. Phantasmal Image. Not the best card right now. So hopefully this Tamio won't flip. But again, I'll probably sacrifice it instead of... I'll just get this. Because we've already drawn a card. So I don't want to draw any more cards. What I want to do is find an Oculus off this or find yet another Ice Fang Coatl. Both of those would be great. Actually, I will draw a card off this if I sack it. So I definitely am going to sack the Tamio here. Okay. So we'll just pass to the next, to the Birthing Ritual. Let's see what's going to come out. It looks like we've got a Quilling Oracle, which doesn't draw a card. But I'm going to sack the Tamio to get it, just so I can draw a card deeper into my deck. Yeah, nothing else sets the world on fire here. So I will sack Tamio, Coiling Oracle, draw trigger, or it's not technically a draw. We found a second force. Okay, so we're passing. We can deal with 2 of the 3 minis coming our way. None of them have trample. I can force anything they do here, but I don't think they're going to bother forcing. I think they're just going to try to max damage here. So I will have to take one of these hits. And I'll drop dramatically in life. Next turn, I could fetch and play an Abhorrent Oculus, which will produce the blockers I need to survive. And in killing one of these, I decrease the size of the subsequent ones. Oh no. Yeah, this is a lot of damage. It's possible that I needed to force like a Mox or something, but that feels so wrong. They still got 4 cards in hand. They could absolutely have a second wave like Pyrogoyf or something like that. They also have a land drop, and if they have another Urza Saga, I will almost certainly die. Okay, moving it over, that's fine. I will allow it. All right, so they're coming across. I could sack this. Is that all right to save a whole lot of life? Just throw it in front of... So we're killing one. I definitely want to kill this one, and then... Yeah, I don't have to lose any more life. And maybe I shouldn't. Because I've got a fetch that I want to use. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to throw everything under here. But I don't have... Then I don't have good triggers next turn. I've got a Riddler which triggers once. I think it's fine. And I might draw. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do this. So I think I am going to block. Let's block the one that has this on it. And then I'll just block with both of these. And then I get a card. And then hopefully I find another shield back because it's a very good card here. So they die. They do decrease in size slightly. I get my card. Okay, it is a shield back. That's great. So now I can shield back and Riddler. But I probably want to shield back an Oculus. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let's go get another island here. I don't need any more green. I shouldn't need any more green. I might come to regret not having green. So Oculus. One. This will produce a lot of blockers. I'll shield back. Okay, and then shield back is the one that gets replaced. And we have double force up. I think we'll manage to navigate this. Coiling Oracle is fine. Draws a card and it chumps. And land would be great if I find a land here. Oracle has the highest likelihood of finding land first. Okay, and now if we stick the second Ritual, that's pretty good. Flare Denial is great too because it's yet another way we can... Oh, shield back. I think I actually want to put shield back under here because he's cheap to turn over if we still have him for some reason. Riddler costs 5 to turn over and we don't get any ETB triggers. So shield back when he dies. Like if they decide to hold back for some reason. I think I trade the Oculus with one of these if they don't have another artifact though. Let's see what they do here. 3 mana in the pool. That is not going to fly. I don't want to deal with that. So I'll just pitch the Phantasmal Image here. It's not meant for this matchup. Yeah, that card is extremely brutal. We don't want to deal with it. Chalice of the Void on 0. That locks out some of your own cards. You're welcome to do that. Okay, so now this is big enough that I will need to just chump both of them. But I'm not going to fight that. We're not at that stage of the game. Okay, so here we're going to just block both of them so we survive. And I'll keep my Oculus around because I've got at least one card next turn. I mean, I might be able to Birthing Ritual into several triggers. Well, let's think about this. Okay, so Tamio is an extra creature. So I'm going to go get yet another island. I've got one more island in the deck. I will... if I warp Quantum Riddler, though... I have to warp Quantum Riddler first. I'm almost certainly going to accidentally flip Tamio here. Let's go ahead and do this. Birthing Ritual. Now I will warp this. I'll just be sure to get rid of Tamio first. So we get our draw trigger. Okay, that's a great rip for later. So we'll play out Tamio here. Now we go to the end step. And I'm not going to attack. We'll do that later. I just want to stabilize. Okay, so warp goes on the stack first, so it doesn't warp out before I can get rid of it. Okay, so the first one I could just get a Quantum Riddler, but I want to get Ice Fang Quaddle here. But I need to sacrifice Tomio to get Ice Fang Quaddle. That's what I'll do. And then we'll just hope to hit another Riddler. We have one in the yard. It's not likely that we're going to find it. Okay, this is just... I will just Quantum Riddler into Tomio. I know that sounds lame. We've already drawn our card, so we'll just chump with her. Because this is going away, and I don't care that it's going away. I need to survive in the meantime. Okay, it seems lame trading like a Riddler for this, but the name of the game is survival here. So we get another dude. Ice Fang is great if we don't have to chump, but I'll chump. I'll trade with one of these, and I'll chump the other one. And I have Force and Flare, and I can turn this over, and I can trade with the remaining construct. We're just gradually like working our way through their onslaught. They've got 3 cards in their hand. We've got 1 card answered, potentially 2, but I definitely need to have an object on the table here. I mean, I could just Oculus again, though. But I definitely don't want to have to flare one of my creatures, is what I'm saying. Because then I block here, and then it's just Oculus by his lonesome, and we don't get the trigger. But I can Oculus and Ice Fang next turn, so I think that'll be fine. And then I'll just tech up the Ice Fang twice. We still have 1 Oculus in our deck. It's crazy that we're already down to 26 cards. You really chew through your deck. Like this is, if there's ever been a deck where Oculus is a standout, it's this. Okay, they're moving that over. That's fine. I'll just block that one. I mean, I want to block both. So I'll just block with Tomio because I can turn this other one over and deal with the remaining one. And, I can only have 1 Tomio on the table at a time. And I presume they don't really have a gameplay action. If they move that around, it doesn't do anything. Like, I was definitely going to block there. It would have been a fatal block anyway, or a fatal hit anyway. All right. Now, Brainstorm is fine, but it's not where we're going. I'm going to go ahead and Ice Fang first. Draw trigger, see if I find a land. I don't. I'll just do this. Oculus, the game is over. We don't use our graveyard for anything other than casting Oculus. This comes in. My opponent has not yet scooped. I can safely attack now. I think I probably will. With this out, I just want to wait one more turn and make sure I don't die. That would be really embarrassing to die from this position. Okay, so this is another Oculus. Okay. Yes, I would like to trade this for an Oculus. And I'll probably trade this for basically anything. There's nothing to be traded here, so I just won't do it. Okay, we've got a pretty strong board. They're super duper dead. I'll just grab this. I'll grab a Riddler, sure. And they're going to run out of life long before I run out of cards. So we don't have to worry about that. I got a Tomio if I need it for some reason. I can't imagine I would. Best of luck, friend. All right. So that was a little bit of clock. We used about 10 minutes of our clock. Game 1. Force Negation definitely gets in here. And I think Dismember comes in too. Because we need to be able to deal with like turn 1 Moon. Cards that are not particularly good here. Phantasmal Image is pretty bad. Tommy is pretty bad too. Like, she didn't do a damn thing other than get sacrificed repeatedly. And again, I'm not sure that she belongs in the deck. Punishing Waterfalls only had 1 in his deck, but it feels weird to like not get the free wins from Tomio. And she synergizes pretty well. Other than the fact that you just draw so many cards if things are going great, but we may not have Birthing Ritual and we may need to fall back on Tomio. I think they're unlikely to go after our lands in any capacity, but Hedge Maze is kind of a liability because it's, I think I trim my Hedge Maze here. And no, I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't want to get mana screwed. And like even 1 mulligan is too many when we're trying to find lands because we're mulliganing to find Force Negation to stop Chalice, which actually, does Chalice even really hurt us? it hits 12 cards in our deck. I think if we just take out the Tomios completely, then we don't have to worry about her because she's probably not going to be good enough. We don't need all 4 Force Negations if we're not worried about her. Or also, like, we're likely to get one with 7 forces. I just don't want the situation where we have a fetch in our hand and or where we don't naturally draw an island. Because Blood Moon is very good because even if you have basics, if they get it out turn 1, There's nothing you can do to stop it. We do have dismembers, which can deal with them managing to get Magus of the Moon out, which we saw them put under a Mox. They may just board all that stuff out, though. But dismember being able to kill... the main thing we want to kill is Broadside Bombardier. I feel like we have a pretty positive matchup here. All right, and this is basically exactly what we wanted to see in a hand. We've got the interaction spells. I don't like this Hedge Maze, but I'm going to keep this. And then we have Force for, like, if they have a huge Haymaker. But their Haymakers are less impactful when we have access to, like, basic island and stuff. And we have turn 2 Birthing Ritual. And then if we still have this in hand, we can warp it and immediately potentially get a Riddler. This is fine if that's their turn 1. Construct Plan didn't work game 1. I don't think it's going to work here either. I'll go ahead and put this out just in case they do Blood Moon me, then I can fetch the Forest. We only need 1 Forest. I have 2 in the deck. Riddler, number 2. So now we can safely force and still have something for Birthing Ritual. But that's turn 3. We have to survive. They have some crazy, I don't know what they would do here, but Chromox, that's fine. I never go after Chromox. Simian Spirit Guide under there. There's bolting this in. Passing. Okay, so I'll just go get the Force here. Actually, I wouldn't mind drawing a mana. I think I'll just wait until I've drawn and then decide. Well, I'm not going to decide anything. I am going to go ahead and put this Desperate Ritual out. Or the Birthing Ritual. So we'll take 1 crack from them. Yeah, I think it's unavoidable. I do want to get this on the table, so next turn I can riddle. And then I'll be able to riddle 2 turns in a row, and that'll be probably good enough, assuming they don't have an incredible amount of pressure. But I am going Shields Down on Dismember this turn. So I will need to force a Broadside. But I don't think Broadside's coming. I think what they're going to do is max the utility of this. There's their first one. Okay. Second one. I think they're probably just going to go get the thing. The Lava Spore Boots and try to aggro us again. Phil, I can't remember his last name. They do have another one. So we're basically playing the exact same game as the previous turn, as the previous game. Unfortunately, I don't have mana to Dismember. Dismember would be good here. All right, so yeah. But I don't think we wait is the thing. And they haven't given me any good force target. So I'm basically dead on board, unfortunately. I need to find something off Ritual. If I don't, then that's the end of the game. Shieldback's not bad, but I can't, because this is an ETB tapped. What I'm going to do is I'm going to riddle first and then hopefully find a land, and then I can deploy the Shieldback as well. Come on, land. Okay, no land. So this has to hit another Riddler, and that might be able to help us survive. No, I think they can just move this over to whatever they put in, and we just die, unfortunately. Yeah, we bricked hard on land. I'll go ahead and play this out. I mean, we're not going to get a chance to do it later. Flare of Denial is not what we're looking for. We're looking for land. Yeah, this is unfortunate. It's just we're a turn too slow. So you put the Warp on the stack first because you want to resolve Birthing Ritual. So what can we find here? I think if we found Abhorrent Oculus, it might be good enough, but we've already got 2 of them. If we found... Okay, good game. We didn't find anything. That sucks. That does happen. Even when you have... that was probably like 0.1%, 0.2% likelihood, because we have freaking... actually, we went down to 20 creatures, so the probability was maybe like 1 or 2% fail rate, but it's not high. That was unlikely. I think I do want to increase the creature count a little bit here. I'll just take out a Force Negation. I am going to keep the Dismembers in. They would have been really good there if I had the mana to make use of them. But we're on the play here. Do I just want to take out the Force Negations completely? I'm not that afraid of stuff they're doing now. Now I can go up to 3 of these, and I can maybe open with Tamio. If I flip her, she will debuff our opponents and distract them. And that's what her role is in this game. We're not going to Tamio ultimate anybody. Oh, gosh. Yeah, this is a trap hand. Unfortunately, it's just too slow. This is fine. So what we do is we just play this out, and then we get a forest. I hate to keep too much land. We're maybe going to find land off this. I think I'm going to put back the Scalding Tarn. And we're just going to live in a world where we do get to do what we want to do. So next turn is just Coiling Oracle, hopefully finding a land. Another Urza Saga start. Okay. Mox. Yeah, Urza Saga is a very powerful card, but I was going to say earlier when I got distracted. Fable. I will force Fable. I think at this point I need to pitch Flare of Denial. So I can... I guess I could Coiling Oracle here. This is a must-stop card. Yeah, I'll just pitch a Coiling Oracle and then I can counter their next spell too. But I don't think countering spells is really what this game's going to be about. They're at 3 life. Okay, so let's just... I actually don't want land at this point, so I'm going to fetch it out just to reduce the likelihood of me drawing one. So we'll get the forest here. Okay, Riddler's fine. So now we can counter their next spell, but I think they're likely just going to be on the construct plan, so they won't have a next spell. Okay, that's nice. That can be a Surveil. Then we can warp Riddler next turn, and we'll be low enough in cards that probably means drawing 2 cards. But we may not be. So I'm going to actively kind of like Surveil to try to find a land so we can get Riddler out. Because then we can cast Riddler if we have 4 lands. Oh, they are exiling... Wait, what is this? If they're not going to create the construct and they're going to cast something I can counter, I'm down with that. Oh my goodness, really? Really? We got all 3 games, double saga that we have to work through? That's not fun. That sucks. Okay, Disruptor Flute. Well, I'm going to fetch. This could name the ability, but like, I'll be stunned if they name Riddler. That's what they need to name here. Just going to go ahead and Surveil. This fills up the yard for... Oh, that's a... Actually, is that a keep? It combos with Flare of Denial. I could play it next turn. But I think I put it in the yard because like finding Oculus is one way I can win here. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the yard because I do want to find a land so I can go up with Riddler here. I'm not going to force this. I think this would be... There's got to be some... Well, actually, this does contribute. I'm going to go ahead and force it. Yeah, it sucks, but like it's an artifact that buffs their squad when they eventually do create the dudes. And if I get lucky and draw like land plus... Okay, not terrible. So I'm going to Riddle first. And I'll get 2 cards here. That's a great rip. So I'm going to go ahead and play this out. I mean, I could brainstorm for a land. It would suck if I whiffed on land. I want to do it. Come on, land. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? Holy cow. Why are we not finding land? We've got 20 freaking lands. Oh, that's brutal. So I think like the flare goes back for now. Oculus can come out next turn. I think that's probably the best play is just play Oculus and sit on the rest of this stuff. I could try for a land next turn. That's just absolutely brutal RNG. Okay, well, this is going to warp out. And I'm not so confident in this game anymore. Like, they can go get Lava Spur Boots and hit us for like 5 here. Maybe more. What they need is like a big burst of mana. But we have 0 interaction is the thing. Because I decided, like, I thought, okay, I'll draw 2 cards. I'll draw 2 reasonable cards, and I drew cards that I can't use. And I'm not sure that Oculus is going to be enough anymore. Okay, they are making a dude. They can just go get a Mox here, and that grows them and ensures that they'll be able to play another one. So I'll probably just play out both of these Phantasmal Shieldbacks next turn. Man, that feels so bad, though. But I'm just afraid that they have like a Pyroblast. Oh, that's a pretty good card. That tramples right over my things. Wait, why did they do that? Oh no, are they going to Pyroblast me? Or whatever it's called me? Oh, Chalice for 2? That actually is fine. Oddly, that's not a big deal. That does stop my combo, but they forwent like creating a construct there to do that. I don't agree with that play. Okay, so I think, unfortunately, the way I stacked it, yeah, I stacked it wrong. How many cards does that even lock us off of? Like 12 in our deck? It's not nothing. So I really, really, really need to find a land deck. Okay, thank goodness. So Birthing Ritual goes back. I think the second... No. I think I want to put both of these out. And then next turn I can Oculus, or I could just Oculus now. I actually think Oculusing now is fine because we'll get. Unfortunately, I can't do it where I can fetch and then have the shield back on top because I would love to have that be my card. I think I Oculus and just hang on to these other cards because that way we can have some forward momentum here. So we get an island. Chalice is on 2. I don't think that changes anything about what they can do, but it does shut me off a lot of abilities. So it's not a bad move. But I think just making the construct and killing me would probably be more effective. I'm going to try to get as many types out of my graveyard as possible here. Yeah, and I'll just leave land. And that way, if they do have a Pyrogoyf, it's not going to do as much damage. They have 1, 2, 3 types currently in the yard. And I would absolutely despise letting this go to a Flare of Denial, but I will not die to keep this alive. Holy cow, that's good. Okay, that may be the game. We'll see what they do here. Next turn, I can shield back, and I can flip this over and just go to town. I hope they can create a construct here. Looks like they're doing it. That's so relieving. It's a 4/4, and if they equip the Shadow Spear, it'll be a 5/5, but I'll let it hit me. Hey, Scoop. I can't believe that we got through that one. That felt really touch and go. Round 3, we're 2-0. We're up against a likely Doomsday player. I like Flare of Denial here. It's slow. Unfortunately, if they just quickly Doomsday, we don't really have recourse. It does have both our colors. Unlikely to waste us. I don't like the double Oculus. I think I can do better than this. Let's mulligan it. This is not any better, unfortunately. But I'll take the Brainstorms. We'll keep. So I'll put back one of the lands that can't fetch basics. It really just comes down to, do they have the Doomsday with the Dark Ritual? And if they do, the odds of them having exactly Dark Ritual and Doomsday are low. If they take the Riddler, I'll be relieved. They don't. So I think they are going to try to turbo me here. Because, I mean, Riddler is like such a good card if you can wait. All right, that's a bad rip. So unfortunately, we don't have good options. I'm probably going to just Surveil here instead of Brainstorming. They know there's a chance that I could Brainstorm. Like, this opponent, like, it seems like every time I play against them, they're able to do a very quick Doomsday. And I think I've beaten them maybe once, but I've lost them twice. Tommy is fine. Not worried about Tommy Ultimate with this deck because I can put a lot of pressure on the table. They've been a land. Right, so I'm going to go get my... I don't think it matters whether I get basics here. So I will just go ahead and get the Hedge Maze. It's weird playing with 2 of the same Surveil lands. I've never done that before. Shield back. It's pretty meh. I mean, it's half the combo if we find the combo, but I think it's just not where we want to be. And putting it in there feeds Oculus. Now they're going to have no doubt if they have ever seen this deck that that's what we're on. Oh my goodness, deck. Come on. This is ridiculous. I think I need to go down to 19 land. Like, I don't know. It just seems like... And I played a game where I just could not draw a second land. Okay, this is great. I couldn't draw a second land to save my life earlier. So I'll put these 2 back. And we've already made our land drop, so we can fetch those away. We can just get a basic island probably and just not worry about getting basic forest. And then, yeah, I'm not worried about her flipping because Oculus is going to take care of her, but they might have Fatal Push in their deck. The main thing I'm concerned about is the fact that we haven't found a force yet for Doomsday. So we're still like very dead to Doomsday. Okay, and they can just hardcast it now. Okay, they don't. That's nice. I'm going to go ahead and Surveil again. I don't care about Ice Fang Quaddle getting Death Touch in this matchup. I just need to stay alive. That's an above average draw for sure. Okay. So I don't want to risk them just countering. Okay, so we drew the Brainstorm. We could Brainstorm and probably shuffle away this island. I don't hate that. And then we have Ice Fang, which doesn't really do anything here. It's just a cantrip. But I do want to do this, and if they have Bowmaster in their deck, which they might have, then I'll look like a fool. Okay, so Tomio of our own, not the worst in this circumstance. Ice Fang doesn't really do anything. I do want to keep the lands flowing. I'm just really disturbed that I haven't found any mana yet, or any force effects yet. Yeah, Ice Fang really doesn't do anything. I think we're better off just casting 2 1-drops here. So I can put back Ice Fang. I will put back a Riddler, I think. Then I'll just play out 2 1-drops. No, I'll put back a land. But if I put back the land, then I'm not going to get closer to Riddler. It feels so bad to have a land, and I'll probably just draw a land anyway. Yeah, I'm going to put the land back. Now I'm going to go fetch. I want Tommy to resolve first. She's the more important of the 2. Yeah, I'm going to wait and warp Riddler next turn. And if I can get my hand low enough through some miracle, okay, then I might be able to draw 2 off Riddler. That was a turn where I could have Oculus, but again, I'm deathly afraid of daze. They play 3 dazes, and it will be so embarrassing if they successfully daze my Abhorrent Oculus, and I don't have a way to redeploy it. They're thinking like they have some interaction here. I would love for them to burn it on this card. I don't care about this card in the slightest. It doesn't do anything to the game. But they may daze it just to get like another Surveil. But again, they could just be plugging this in to see, okay, what decks play this? And there is a 5-0 result with Punishing Waterfalls. All right, so I lost a little bit of time on the clock due to just some... Oh, wait. Oh, that's it. No, it's the end of my turn. They let it resolve. Okay. I thought I missed some important phase. My kids are fighting. So I was trying to defuse the bomb unsuccessfully. They're arguing over... my son wants to watch my daughter play Animal Crossing because he doesn't have Animal Crossing on his Switch. The very definition of like, you know... I will block here just in case. It would suck to be Kaito'd here. Are they going to flip it? They are. Okay. So Oculus has to come in order to stop this from ultimating. And I'm worried that they are going to just find Dark Ritual Doomsday and just win immediately. They can regrow a Thoughtseize next turn. So I put back an island earlier, thinking Riddler would be better. An island would be better here because I could Abhorrent Oculus through days. The best draw on my deck is probably just the counterspell. I'm struggling to remember the name of it, but it allows me to like sack a creature instead of paying its mana cost. Flare of Denial. So if I draw a ritual, it's very good. But again, I fully expect them to have stack interaction at this point. It's just a question of whether it's days or whether it's force or it's both. Play a land for turn. They could just Doomsday right now and they would have a clue to crack as well. And I don't think that I'm going to beat this. This pilot only has a couple of finishes, but I believe that they play a lot in paper because they're very strong. Like they're one of the most creative Doomsday pilots I've played against. And I played against a lot of Doomsday pilots. We'll get to look at their list here though. This is not a favorable matchup. I'm just going to take out all the Tamios completely and bring in Force Negations here. Harbinger of the Seas might actually help here. I don't think Dismember is where we want to be. I'm going to see if they have Bowmasters. They're putting a Thoughtseize in their pile. So I think they're just going to try to win now. A lot of people message me and say, like, why don't you put Consign in? It stops the Oracle trigger. You will almost never successfully stop a competent Doomsday pilot with Consign. It may seem counterintuitive, but they will almost always, if they suspect you have Consign, they will Thoughtseize you first or Dismember, do something to get around it. They can play the Jace instead of the Oracle. So don't do that. Like you're probably like it doesn't hit anything in their deck except for that trigger, and it's almost certainly just going to rot in your hand the entire game, and then they're going to take it out of your hand at the last second. So I think Harbinger's a candidate, but it's not a great candidate. They almost certainly don't have a basic swamp, but we'll see. If they're not playing a basic swamp, I might bring in Harbinger. Because it's unlikely that they're going to win if they're just relying on Murktide to win. Okay, we can look at their exile pile. I think they're probably just going to win now. They have so many resources. Okay, they're actually passing the turn. Which means that we should look at their pile. And they do have Bowmasters to see it. So that's the boogeyman for our deck. They have 2 of them. They have all 4 Tamios. They have 1 Merc. 2 Mercs. Okay. Now we can figure out what's in their pile. Oh, wait, let's take a look for basic swamp. They do have basic swamp. So I'm definitely not going to board in Harbinger of the Seas if they're going to have a basic swamp there. So Buffalo Chicken Dip FOP is my acronym. No brainstorms. LED's not in. The disrespect. They may have petals, but why would they have petals? I don't see Oracle. All 3 daisies are accounted for, assuming that they're not playing 4, which very few Doomsday players consistently play 4 in my experience. Street Wraith's out, but they could cycle through their lands. I think they have 2 forces in hand. So the game's over. I mean, like, I could play it out, but with 2 forces, it's just not going to happen. There's no way, nothing we can do. Yeah, this does nothing. I'm going to go ahead and create a clue, I guess. I don't think we're going to get another turn, but they're almost certainly just going to force whatever we put on the stack here. But I will put a Quantum Riddler because it's possible that, like, I don't know, that I could find. What could I find? I could find a Brainstorm, and then I think this is better than Oculus, which is just not going to win, frankly. They let that resolve. Another Riddler. Yeah, I mean, my will to win this game, to continue playing this game, has dropped dramatically here. Because I think they have double force, and they do have a Thoughtseize as well. I'm not going to show them any more information. I don't know if they've seen it. They may have seen Oculus. I don't think they did. Okay, I'm just going to scoop. And you can assume that they're not going to do some dumb punt that costs them the game. So I think Phantasmal Image actually comes in here. I'm going to take out Oracle or Tamio. I'm increasingly convinced she doesn't belong in the deck. Dismembers can deal with Bowmasters. I just want to get Bowmasters off my back. We still have 23 creatures. And it may be that Phantasmal Image is just the replacement for Tamio, because it can come in as a non-warped copy of Riddler or do other things like that, but like you'd have to have 4 mana to do that. It can copy an Oculus. It's not a great card. It is really just there to stop Bowmasters. I'm kidding myself if I think it's a main deckable card. And a lot of this is just bias against Tamio because I've played her so much. I'm so bored of playing with her. I want them to ban her, but they probably won't. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily make sense to ban her. I've talked about this ad nauseum, but she's not really that well represented in the top 15 cards on, or top 15 decks. There are only like 2 decks on MTG Goldfish, top 15 that she's in. So I don't think she's going to get banned. I don't think One Ring is going to get banned. I think we're just going to have these miserable cards for a while. The main reason I don't like her in this deck is the deck is pretty mana intensive, and you're rarely just sitting around twiddling your thumbs. If they're familiar with the deck, they may have brought in Grafdigger's Cage. I think this hand is fine. It's not special, but it does deal with Bowmasters. I'll keep it. Unfortunately, this doesn't copy anything. But I'm just going to take it slow, and I'm going to hope my opponent takes it slow and doesn't turbo me. I was supposed to bring in the Force Negations. Did I not do that? Okay. Well, that was dumb with me. Yeah. Let's see. Sideboard, did I bring in Force Negation? I didn't bring in Force Negation. I'm so dumb. Okay. Well, I deserve it if I lose this one. I'm sorry, my excellent friends. Hopefully we can win this game, and I can bring them in for the next game when we're on the draw. They are a lot better when you're on the draw than when you're on the play. So I'll just go ahead and riddle here, and then I'll just chill. I would love to draw a Shellback. Yeah, Shellback would be great. Okay, this is fine. I'm going to actually do this first because this gives me Flare Denial, and it's extremely unlikely they counter this. Like, if they daze it, that would be stunning to me. It doesn't seem like it's not a legacy power level card. Come on, land. Land. My opponent's really like making me wait. I just want to see what my card is. Oh, a Phantasmal Image can copy it. It's not the end of the world. If they Bowmaster here, I'll just Bowmaster them right back, and that Bowmaster will be a much bigger pain for them than it will be for me this league. Or this round, I think. This game. I am worried that I flare, and then I don't have a creature to copy, so I don't want to flare willy-nilly. I definitely want it to be a really important spell that I flare. It's fine. They might be mana screwed, but because if you do the search, you'll find Punishing Waterfalls version, which does play 3 dazes, so you wouldn't want to do that. So I think they were just looking for land there. There's Dismember. So I think here is just Phantasmal Image on Oracle trying to get deeper into my deck. So importantly, Flare Denial does not target, so it's fine. Gosh, this is such a sclerotic play, but come on, land, please. Oh, no. And now they know about the Oculus. Well, I'm going to attack them. I don't have anything to do here. I can copy it again next turn, or I can try the Oculus, but that plays into daze. I'll definitely flare with this copy since it's brittle. Consider, that's fine. They have filled up their graveyard. If they have a Merc coming, it's going to be a big one. But I have Dismember. I might have to double Dismember a Merc, which would be truly sad. Yeah, they have Merc mana up. I will attempt to counter Merc. Duress. Nothing to be done here. This is not the card you counter. They get to see my hand and they know they have to completely clear their pile or have stack interaction. My kids were fighting earlier and now they're just running around laughing. It's so crazy how kids' moods change so rapidly. They were both crying and yelling at each other and weeping like it was the end of the world. Yeah, they did take my flare. But now they know that they can't just deploy a Bowmasters here, or I'll Bowmaster them right back. I think literally the only card in this deck that I'm playing that is not legal in Modern is Force of Will. It's fine. I'm happy that they're kind of spinning their wheels over there because I need time to get ahead. But they do know that like Oculus needs to be dazed or forced. They're probably not going to let that happen. They're down to 15, so we're chipping away at them. I think I should hold the Phantasmal Image just in case they have a... I think I could Riddle here and then Dismember. I mean, they may have days. Okay, so they're keeping this mana up. I mean, they could have Fatal Push. I think if this is copying, you can just kill the all potential targets with it on the stack and it just dies upon resolution. It's not a good card. If I haven't said that before. Okay, this is actually fine. I would like to Oracle and get deeper into my deck. I think this is better than Riddling here. They are going to get to see the card, though. Come on, land. Yes, finally. So I think I go ahead and attack, and that way if they Bowmaster, I can at least kill it. They can't Bowmaster here unless they Dark Ritual, which is unlikely. Okay, so here I think we could just warp the Riddler, but then like we don't have any counterplay. I think I'm just going to Surveil. That may sound incredibly cowardly, and it is. Oh, also, I was talking about casting Abhorrent Oculus. We can't cast it. It has an additional cost to it where you have to exile cards from your graveyard. I completely forgot about that. Cast it in like maybe 4 turns. Okay, so this is probably Doomsday. But they are going to have to clear their pile. They do know with confidence that I haven't drawn Force because they knew this was my card for turn. Yeah, I can't do anything here. So if they can just win in this turn cycle, there's nothing I can do. I think this is a pretty bad matchup, frankly. Because they have Thoughtseize to strip our Birthing Ritual, which we haven't seen in a few games. But they also have like a fast stack combo, and we don't have any real clock at all until like this is a very dirtily version. I think Punishing Waterfalls version is maybe like critical turn 3 or turn 4 maybe. He doesn't have any mana acceleration. He just has Daze and Wasteland. Okay, they're putting a Duress and a Consider in their pile. So I expect them to totally clear their pile. And the fact that they're putting Consider in there tells me they're almost certainly... they're probably going to do LED, and they're just going to try to clear their pile so that my Dismember doesn't work. But do they know that I have 2 Dismembers? I think they might. They're going to go to 6. I'll get 2 attacks in before they win. Or I'll get 1 attack in. This is nice, though, because what I can do, I have mana up to Dismember twice if I need to, and then I can just Surveil if I don't need to. I don't think they can win from this position. They could Brainstorm, get LED, play and then Consider. Cast, Consider, crack LED. No, I don't think they can do that unless they have Petal. So they could Petal and LED and Consider in their pile. And that would... Brainstorm would get 3 cards in, but put 2 cards back. Consider clears 2 cards effectively. I don't think they can do without clearing their pile this turn cycle. All right. So they are passing, not doing anything further. So this is my turn. I'm going to surveil. So cards that I could find that would be good. I think they got a Thoughtseize there. Let's just see what we get here. Flare Denial is definitely worth keeping. Okay, so we'll draw. So I think what we need to do is probably Riddle. Then we have Double Dismember and Flare Up. I'll go ahead and attack for everything. Yeah, I just dig deeper into my deck. I mean, I could technically copy this, and then I have a big guy, but it doesn't do anything. I need to keep the Dismember mana up. Yeah, if I found a second Flare of Denial, just imagine how insane that would be. Draw trigger. Or a Force. I mean, I'll take either of those. Okay, this is a land. I'm going to go ahead and play it. Again, I don't think they're going to clear a pile completely. Let's take a look at their Excel. I didn't even look. Okay. I just want to go and do my Buffalo Chicken Dip Fop. I've got tons of time. So I think they have a Brainstorm. No, wait. I see all 4 Brainstorms. B. Cavern is out for some reason. I think they're going to try to Jace me. No, they could just cycle a whole lot. I don't see the cyclers. Yeah, Street Wraith is in their pile. Thoughtseize is in their pile. I don't know how they win. I see 1 days. Oh, is it Oracle's in their pile? So the scary thing is I'm only counting 2 Force of Wills. Surely they have... I mean, unless they're just playing 2. Seems ridiculous. I think what I need to do is they're probably going to try to Thoughtseize me. But that means they can't use their Street Wraith if that's in their deck. I don't see any Petals. Maybe they're just not playing them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because I don't see a Daze in here, like their hand could just be full of Dazes and they're just like, I'm going to Daze my way out of this. So I do want to keep the mana up. And we'll just pass and we'll see whether we win. So I think they have 1 or more Dazes and Forces. Duress. They can take 1 of these cards. There's nothing, like, there's no tactical advantage to going and using Flare here if they're going to take it. They did take the Flare. Consider clearing some of their pile. They still got 2 cards. Street Wraith to 1. You got 1 more card. Oh, they can cycle that? Okay, yeah, they win. Okay, you got me. Good game. And just a quick note, like, for anybody who was like thinking that, oh, you should have gone ahead and forced it just so they wouldn't have seen your hand. I don't think that would be good, because then I would have 1 fewer creature and I wouldn't necessarily be able to attack them to death and they get an extra turn cycle. So that was my reasoning there. I understand that it would have been nice for them to not have perfect information, but in the event that they just didn't have, they weren't going to use that life and they weren't going to be at 1. They ended up at 1, but like they very easily could have just, said, oh, okay, I'll wait till the next turn cycle. If, and then I'll try it. So, yeah. I don't think it's correct to force there. Round 4, we're 2-1. We're up against an Elves Enthusiast. This hand doesn't do really anything, but it has Birthing Ritual. I think we shield back into Birthing Ritual and we hope that's good enough. I can't actually do that because of this damn Hedge Maze. Do I want to throw back a hand where I have Birthing Ritual, though? It doesn't seem like a winning formula. It's hard to find this card, but if I mulligan, I might find a Force. This is super awkward, though. These have been good in the league, but this is an instance of a hand that would otherwise be a snap keep, but is not necessarily a keep. If they're on Elves, they could be extremely fast. They also may have Wasteland if they're on the Cradle control version. I think I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, this is fine. This is Tommy will start with a Flare of Denial. I'll keep it. Put back the Hedge Maze. All right, I don't have access to green, though. I don't even have a shock land, unfortunately. So I do have to surveil. But I will take a turn to get Tommy out, so at least I got Flare of Denial up. Okay, that gives me green, so now I can do this with confidence. And we'll pass. And this way, if they do like some sort of crazy spell in the end step, I can stop it. I think they're just going to push her. Dryad Arbor, okay. So I guess it would have come into play tapped effectively. You can't tap it for mana the turn it comes out, so that's why they did it that way. So we don't have any mana denial aspect to our deck. I don't think that's particularly strong right now because everybody's playing so many lands because tempo's so well represented in the meta. Badger Mole Cub. This increases the amount of mana they can produce. I don't think this is the fight though. Because if I just draw, yeah, I mean, it's a good card for sure. But like this turn, it doesn't do anything. Next turn, it means they have natural order mana, but I can counter the natural order. Oculus. I think what I do is I attack and then I just then I just Warp Riddler. And then we don't have any defense. Like they can do some damage to us, but we're getting closer to our desired end game that way. I could just crack this clue instead of warping. I think it's fine to just warp. Because I can do this later at instant speed. I can't do that with Riddler. No. Because this is really freaking good. If I find exactly... Yeah, I'm going to chill. Because this is really good if I find exactly Birthing Ritual. So they have 4 mana here. It's crazy. This card is so cracked. And they can sack this natural order and then they get this right back. It's really powerful. Maybe they have Veil as well. I'm trying to think of what is in their deck that would cost 5. Might be a big Green Sun Zenith. Wow. So these will tap for freaking 3 mana. That's crazy. This card is so bonkers. I'm going to let it go. You got a lot of mana. Hopefully they don't have anything too catastrophic to do with it. It's not the fight. So this taps for another... Okay, are they going to do the natural order now? Grist? I think Grist is not the fight. They kill this. Is that even a big deal? I think I just stop this. I think this is enough of this madness. Gosh. Yeah, I'm going to do it. They'll kill it anyway. The problem is I'm not getting any closer to casting Oculus, which arguably isn't even going to be good enough. I am denying them some value though. I'll do it. Next turn is just Warp Riddler, I guess. Loves for boots. So they can put this on that guy and they can attack me for 5. All right, and next turn I'm taking 8 from this board state. It's pretty brutal. Like this is a really good clock. I'm not sure about this matchup. My concern is they have Thoughtseize probably. Birthing Ritual. Oh, Coiling Oracle might be good. Is Coiling Oracle better than Warping Riddler? Absolutely. Let's go and do this. Okay, Ice Fang is going to be way too late upon arrival. I need a Surveil here. Ice Fang does trade with one of these things, but I think I'm just going to die. Like if they have Green Sun Zenith, they can just go get Atraxa next turn. And I think being able to Surveil, I can always fetch a basic island with this if I need to for the Ice Fang. But like I could contest Atraxa, but they're going to have so many creatures that are attacking. It's not going to be enough. I'm not going to trade this for anything. If they have... interesting, they don't have any more lands. They're just going to attack all. That's fine. I will take it. Because trading doesn't really benefit me. And I need this around just in the unlikely chance that I'm able to get Birthing Ritual out. They have Wasteland. Okay, well, I won't be fetching a Surveil land after all. All right. I mean, let's see. If I fetch a Surveil land... Okay, let's think about this. So if I fetch Surveil land, then I have to fetch this. And then I have 2 blockers. Because they'll likely waste my Surveil land, and then I just play this out and I can Oculus. And then Oculus creates a creature. But I'm taking 2 damage. I'm dropping to 4 in the process. Then I can block here. I can chump here. This doesn't have trample, does it? Then 1, 2... Wait, do these get trample? No, they just have haste. Okay. I think that actually is the line. It's just to get an Oculus out next turn. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it's desperate. But like Oculus could like slow their roll enough that they don't kill me straight up. Okay, and don't ever do this. Like there's no tactical value to doing it before they Surveil. Because now that I know what's going to happen, and I'll definitely bin that. I definitely don't want that. Okay, I've got my 6 cards in graveyard. If I draw another land that doesn't hurt me, I will play that. Unfortunately, Tomio. If I could like debuff everything, that'd actually be reasonable. Unfortunately, it's too slow. I'm just gonna go get the basic island here. And then I'll play this, and I'm almost certain I'm dead anyway. All right, so we go to their turn. We have a chumper for one of their creatures. We get a creature. Doesn't really matter what it is, but I will take a Coiling Oracle here. Timing is actually better just in case I can flip her. But that'd be the same cost as paying for her. I'll just get a Coiling Oracle. This is almost certainly dying in combat. And if these creatures die, they just come right back. So we have to go very wide several turns in a row. And I don't think I can fetch anymore because I'm almost certainly going to take 3 here. I will trade with Dryad Arbor and leave these around because these come back. This doesn't. If they have anything, they can almost certainly cast it. Like I can't even imagine what they could have in hand that they're not going to cast right now. They could put Lava Spur on Atraxa. Green Sun for 2? Why not just Green Sun for freaking Atraxa? What am I missing? This is a good card, but is that really better than just getting Atraxa? Oh. Well, it's a big attacker, but I'll just block it. His haste. Yeah, they can give it protection, I guess, by tapping it after combat. I'm not sure why they did what they did. So let's go ahead and block. I'll block here. Block one of these. Block one of these. And I'll take 3 and I'll drop to 1. Is there some way they can buff one of these? They're going to phase one of... What are they doing? Wait, is this bigger now? It's a 5/4 now. Okay. But I'm not going to not block it. I guess I could have blocked one of these instead. Maybe that was actually a punt. Just changed the way I blocked. Now I'm going to lose this. But it does fill up the yard for the second one to come, but it's like way too late. Yeah, and now they have that going next turn, and they can move the Lava Spur around. Okay. That comes back. All right. And they're down to 1 card. But it would be a total miracle. Like a land would be great. Like a land that I don't have to... Yeah, that doesn't do anything. So I can cantrip Ice Fang, draw. And then if I draw a land, I could... No, it still won't be enough. Flare Denial is nice, but it's not going to save me. I have exactly 2 blockers, but they can just make a dude and then probably attack with it. All right, we'll see what happens, but I'm not liking where I am. I can't force... I can't flare anything because I need the blockers. So they can just pay 2, put it into play, attack with it with the Lava Spur on. It won't be particularly strong, though. They don't have nearly as much mana as they had before since they lost all those creatures. What is this? Iridescent Vine Lasher. Whenever you... Okay, so I'm dead to this damage. I can't stop this. I could stop it, but it doesn't matter. I will let it come in, and do you have a land as your last card? I guess you don't even need a land. Good game. Yeah, that was really awkward. Okay. I'm going to see if I can do better in the next game. Dismember is definitely coming in this matchup. It's worth paying the life to stop something disgusting. Harbinger's coming in. I think it's really good here. I'll continue to take Tomio out because my intention is to remove her from the deck. And we still have 24 creatures even after taking her out. Phantasmal Image just isn't good. They don't play Bowmasters traditionally. This deck doesn't. If they put it in, I'll have a bunch of egg on my face, but none of my Cradle or Control opponents have been doing that. Yeah, I'm really excited about Harbinger. If we can get that set up, like they probably play 1 basic swamp and 1 basic forest. And they just have so many tech lands in their deck that this shuts off. Game 2, we're on the play. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I'll keep this. I think I lead with the Hedge Maze. We do need to grab the forest at some point. Yeah, I'm going to lead with this. And if they waste it, it's not a big deal. I'll keep another land if I find one. That's a keep. That does stuff. Is it? I think I bin it. I'm going to bin it. That might be greedy. Next turn, I can grab a forest and I can Oracle. And then, assuming they haven't wasted me, then I've got the Harbinger. They're probably not going to play around Harbinger. Nobody's playing it right now. All right. Don't Thoughtseized me because then you'll see the Harbinger. It's just a mana to work. Oh, green sun for that. Yeah. That'll be an island. I don't even know if it's still a creature when this is out. I can't remember. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm just going to try to spike a land off of this Oracle so I can get further ahead card-wise. I've got plenty of cards to pitch to force. I love this card. Come on, land. Variable reward lottery, yes! And we can even go get another Hedge Maze and get a Surveil. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this game. Oh, if they have the Badger Mole Cub, oh gosh. That explains a lot. I'll force Badger Mole Cub. Because it, like, when creatures are tapped for green, they produce an additional mana. So it can be a way that they can get green even out of this Dryad Arbor, even if it's an island. Because I think it still remains a creature. White, I think this is a force. Safe thing to do is to keep a backup Harbinger in case they're playing Dismember. Or if they Thoughtseize me or something. Yeah, I'll do that. So I'm not doing a lot other than, you know, fending off their threats. Is this Badger Mole Cub? They only have 1 mana. Elvish Reclaimer is so good. This card is correct. All right. Well, we may not win if that's their card. We don't have good removal. We need to find a Dismember now. Let's go find a Dismember. This isn't good enough. We need exactly Dismember for this. Otherwise, they'll be able to get basics. They'll be able to, like, I think basics all they'll be able to get, though. Come on, good card. All right, well, we just got another land. There's no reason to use it. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Harbinger. We don't have good attacks. We just chill. They could snuff this out, but they actually can't because they don't have a swamp. So if snuff out's their interaction, tough. So this is still a creature, unfortunately, but they don't have any green sources. They have to sacrifice to go get a green source. So they have 4 colorless or blue. If they can clear this, though, it's pretty bad. I don't know how they would. They're endurancing just to get. Wait, why? Why are they endurancing us? Just to stop us from getting the big guy? Okay, that's fine. Okay, they can come in for a hug, but I'll block it. They can activate in their instep and just go get like a forest, but that doesn't do anything. All right, Coiling Oracle is good. I want to do that. See if I find a land naturally. I do. Okay, well, I'm just going to play this out. I'll keep this in my hand in case I draw like a Brainstorm. It's not like a big deal, but it is like a burst of mana. So if I attack now, they can't get the third land in their graveyard, I don't think, unless they have like a cycling land. So I could attack with this and start beating them down. Because they'd have to double block, and I just killed the Reclaimer. I think I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go ahead and get in. And once we clear this, then we can start attacking with our small ones. See, they block. They activate. They still can't get a second land in your graveyard. I feel pretty confident about that. I'm going to try it. This may be perceived like a little bit greedy. They're not blocking. Okay, so that was a good attack. So we're racing them if they can't play anything else, but they are going to go get a forest here. Okay, they could even get a swamp here and then have Snuff Out up. But that does cost 4 life. And we have 2 of these now. And then next turn, they can make it into a 3/4. And they can do that in combat, like after a block. So I don't have any more attacks, unfortunately. I need to find my Dismember, or I need to just combo them. So now Badger can come out, and that would be a disaster. Is that what's happening? Yes. We don't need no stinking Badgers. All right, yeah. And it is not tapped, so it can tap for green now because this gives it extra green. So now they have 3 mana. This could be Green Sun for something big, like a white. And yeah, like I predicted this was going to be a huge problem, and it is. We do have the mana to just straight up cast stuff if we get a window. This can't do anything, but like I don't have good attacks. This is the turn where we draw Quantum Riddler and we win. Come on, deck. Brainstorm. Let's go find Quantum Riddle, please. I think Dismember's too late, but I will take it. I'll take Dismember. What do I dismember? I have to dismember this. I still don't have good attacks. Gosh, what a disaster. This freaking Badger Mole Cup was such a disaster. I mean, this getting down and me drawing this too late was also a disaster. I can't shuffle. I guess I hold up Flare Denial, but I do want to kill this. So, unfortunately, I think I need to hold up Flare Denial and I need to dismember this or we're just going to die to this. So I'll take a bunch of damage here. They don't have great attacks. All right. And for the next 2 turns, I'm doing nothing. So they could be beating me down. They could use Elvish Reclaimer. I do have blockers that are not nothing, but they're not anything to write home about. If they find Natural Order, I can counter that. I hope they try to Natural Order here because I can actually... That's a meaningful interaction. Is this another Green Sun Zenith? I'll force it. And now I'm empty. They have 1 card left in hand. Hopefully it's a Veil. Because that was their opportunity to be able to use Veil. No, they could have tapped this to Veil. Okay. So they can activate this in the end step and go get like a swamp if they have one. So I'll draw my land that doesn't do anything. I'm actually going to hold it. I'm not going to play it out because it's possible that I draw a Brainstorm and I can like float these on top and maybe do something more impactful than just playing a land from here does almost nothing. Yeah, so they're going to activate this and now this is a 3-4. At least they got rid of the Cradle. So if they do clear these, they don't have a ton of additional mana. But, this doesn't actually get a counter, so it's not going to do anything. Like, they would have to clear this before it triggers. Right? Yeah, it's permanently stuck on 1. So that doesn't do anything. I'm actually surprised it came in with 1. Once Upon a Time is just a sick rip. It's precisely the kind of thing they needed off the top, unfortunately for us. Another Badger Mole Cub. Okay. I just can't win. Man, I'm going to draw a land and they've got... Yeah, that's fine. Wait, it gets a... Oh, it's a +1/+1 counter. It's not going to count toward letting them have dudes. They still don't really have good attacks. They're welcome to try. But the game is getting better for them faster than it's getting better for me. Well, chill. There are so many insane top decks if my deck decides to give me one. So many, it's not even funny. Like, we would absolutely win if we found Riddler, for example. I don't think they have any more lands to get out of their deck, but they may just a buff. They could sacrifice this and just get another land. Because this will come back as a land. Oh, they're doing their basic forest? I guess they're so confident that they have green from Badger Mole Cub that they don't need to worry about it. Okay. I don't understand the reasoning in getting these out. Maybe they just don't want to draw them. Of course, like in a perfect world, they'd be like drawing. I think they've got like 25 lands or something like that in their deck. This buffs, so they can start getting attacks in. I don't want to get off Harbinger at all because it's doing a lot of heavy lifting still. They may just be hoping to draw into... Yeah, so this is just like the solo attack. I think I'm worried that they'll get me into Alpha Strike distance here because they're hitting me for 4. I dropped to 9. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's totally reasonable to just sack something here. Just to keep our options open because this is kind of like buying us a turn cycle for us to draw Riddler. And once we draw Riddler, I think this game will be very under control. Come on, Riddler. Yes! All right, finally. So I can't actually... Oh, I've got as much blue as I want. I can warp him and cast him, but I'm just going to straight up cast him here because he is a great defender. I'm more likely to draw a blue card, like a blue 1-drop, so I'll just do it like this. Yeah, so let's cast. And now we've got the biggest creature on the table. Draw 2 cards. All right, there we go. And next turn, Birthing Ritual. So I think we can win this game. So I'll just chill. 4-6. They're going to... I mean, if they draw Natural Order or Green Sun Zenith, I think they can go get Atraxa, but I might be able to beat Atraxa. If I had played out these lands, I would be getting 2 cards next turn. So I think that was a punt to not play out the lands. Yeah, I think I can't beat Crater Hoof, but I can beat anything else. Green Sun for 3. Okay, I don't know what this is. I'll be interested to see. I don't even know if... I didn't even realize their deck played 3 drops. Oh, Grist. Yeah, Grist is fine. They're going to minus here. I didn't think about that. Yeah. So if they kill this, it's not a big deal because I've got Birthing Ritual and I'm still going to go crazy. But they will be able to get a swing in. Okay. If they get that card back. Okay, that's fine. So now I don't have the best blocks. I probably do block just to get deeper into my deck if they just attack with 1. This doesn't have trample, does it? I keep forgetting. It seems like they just slap trample on everything these days. Do I care about 3 damage when I'm about to Birthing Ritual? I think it's fine to just throw this in front of there. I'm going to try to find... yeah, I'll just do that and I'll draw a card and I'll save 3 damage. Okay, more land. All right, deck. So, okay, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and play with the land. Play with the shield back. Birthing Ritual. Hopefully they don't have like a card that they can... Like they've been drawing those Green Sun Zenith like crazy. And I am worried that they'll draw another one. All right, so let's go ahead and go to Birthing Ritual time. See what we get. Spin the wheel. I would like to turn this into a eyeball monster, please. Feels like it's been forever since we've been able to do this. Oh no, what is this? You gonna phase something out? You have 0 cards in your hand. What is this? All right, nice island. Okay, so we did hit Oculus. That's great. Now we get a card, and we've got a pretty good blocker. All right, so we get another card. Oh man, it's just drawing so many lands. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, I didn't draw that though. I dodged that. That was, by the way, the only force left in my deck in case we ever need double green, which we shouldn't need. Because they're creating a bug. They can attack with a bunch of stuff, but it's like kamikaze style. And every turn that it's fine. That's good that they drew that because that's a brick, basically. I will have to probably strike down Grist. I don't want to deal with that. I would love for them to just get desperate and start attacking because I can take out the small ones with these. Now we're just in like hold the line and survive mode. Harbingers have given us the gift of time. They are attacking with everything. Okay. So here, this is clearly the block. I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I think it's safe to go ahead and do this. So we're going to block this, block this, block this, block this. I don't agree with that attack. And then I can just block this and take 2. Yeah. Congratulations. You just lost a ton of material. I hope there was some plan there. Okay. Because, I mean, you could have drawn to good stuff eventually. But I think the key thing is they have no... Well, they still have green mana on thieves. Okay, so let's take a draw. Calling Oracle. Let's do it. Okay, let's scoop to that. Yeah. I don't agree with that attack. I don't like Tamio, but she is definitely better than the stuff Dismember should be in. Yeah, maybe we can do without her. Dismember is good. We just didn't draw it in time the previous games. These other cards are fine. I'm just going to play without Tamio. She is very good at go wide strategies. Like, if we'd found her, like, she likely would have won there, but I just want to play without her. So, again, if anybody's disappointed that I'm not playing with Tamio, my apologies. Leave a comment at the timestamp if you're like, no, I really want to see you play with Tamio. I'm almost certainly going to remove her and just probably put Ponder in the deck. That will slightly decrease the consistency of being able to have Birthing Ritual, but Birthing Ritual is not about like you always have a turn 1 creature that you can sack. A lot of times you just have a turn 2 Birthing Ritual and then you're able to go off with Riddler the subsequent turn. So we'd be going down to 20 lands or 20 creatures, especially if we take out... I mean, I might run Phantasmal Image main deck. It's just so weak. But it is exactly the card we need against Bummasters. All right, game 3 on the draw. We'll see whether we get completely run over here. This hand does not get run over. This is an exceptional hand. I'm going to keep it. So I don't want to have to use the Phantasmal Shield back turn 1 to counter something. I'll almost certainly just force pitching Flare Denial. And then if I get multiple Birthing Rituals, that'll be great. Please just have a slow start for once. Don't have the Elvish Reclaimer. I can't stand that card. Green Sun, that's a slow start. I'm not going to fight that. Okay, so we're just going to shield back and we'll pass. And the next turn we can Birthing Ritual. And again, I am going to force pitching Flare Denial, keeping these alive. They can target with literally anything, but they actually don't have that much removal on their deck. I just want to kick off the rituals. So I'll force a lot of things here. They got their basic force. If this is green sun for X equals 2, I will force that so fast. It is forced. Do I want to pitch Brainstorm? I think actually I do pitch Brainstorm here. Flare Denial can stop the next thing that they do. Yeah, I feel confident that that's the correct play here. All right, so we can go get a force. Okay, drew another Brainstorm. This is how the deck wants to be playing. Get my cheeky attack here since I'm definitely going to sacrifice. I don't think they... Yeah, Endurance wouldn't do it because it would die before it blocks. All right. They take a damage. Probably not relevant considering that I think the previous game was won through concession, and if we win, this one will almost certainly be through concession as well. Okay, so Harbinger of the Seas is a sick card that we really want, but we are not there yet. So I always take Coiling Oracle first because it ranks my lands. So let's get Coiling Oracle. Give me a land, please. Force, love it. Okay, this is working out pretty well. We've got double force. We've got our combo active. Next turn, we do this and we can stair step it up even more. I am very much liking this. So I will be forcing and not flaring. I'll just force pitch Brainstorm. The whole reason for cantrips is just to find what we already have on the table. If they have Boseiju, it's pretty devastating because I can't stop it, but I have the second one. I will get a land for that, at least. So it's actually not that devastating, the fact that I drew the second one. Opponent's down to 4 cards over there. White, no thanks. Okay, they didn't have Veil. That's nice. I would have forced Veil too. Okay, so they have another card they can do here. Pithing Needle. I don't know what they needle. It doesn't stop this because this is a triggered ability. Prismatic Vista. Okay, that's a good name. So they didn't misplay there. All right, so we'll probably draw Prismatic Vista now. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and do this. I'm not going to attack. They might have a second one. It would be devastating if like they were to just able to dodge this by somehow clearing it. That'd be really, really dumb. Okay, so we'll just do this twice. All right, this is Oculus. I think I will take an Oculus here. And there's no way that I'm getting another card that's better than this. Actually, I could take an Oculus and then I can cast the Oculus in my hand next turn if I draw a land, any land. That seems kind of silly because I'm getting an Oculus out of my deck, but what are the odds that like it comes back around? I think I actually do that, but I'm almost certainly going to force, but like, yeah, it seems crazy, but I am going to do it. Okay. And now if they have surgical, they get surgical Oculus and get one out of my hand. So that's kind of a punt if that happens. Okay, and they did have a second Dryad Arbor. I'm vindicated in my my restraint. Okay, Birthing Ritual of the Yard. Okay, this is a big play. Endurance. If I force this, then I can keep a threat off the table, and I can also more likely Abhorrent Oculus next turn. I don't actually care, though. Yeah, I don't think I fight this. This puts it back in my deck where I can draw it again. So it's fine. I can just pitch this to force. What is... Oh, this is an island. I can't turn it over. Yeah, Lava Spur, that's fine. Okay. They can still tempo me. So I do need to be a little conservative here. Hedge Maze. I will play it out. Surveil. That stays on top of the deck. Unfortunately, I can't get that. But I do want it on top of the deck. I don't want to... like. I want to max my chances of finding it. So this, I just need to upgrade this into any creature, and then I've got Flare Denial and Force up. Okay, Shield Back, perfect. So the reason Shield Back is so good is you just basically, when you have two of these, you just cantrip right through it. Okay, now Oracle. Looks good. Yeah, there's Oracle here. Okay. We got 2 cards. It's just ridiculous. Like, the game is over, I'm pretty sure. There's Ice Fang, which I can just play out, which is freaking insane. Yeah, I'll just ambush them. Quantum Riddler. I accidentally clicked too fast, but luckily I did click Quantum Riddler there. And the game does not have to end quickly. I don't think there's anything they can do when I have double force up. Snuff out. I will just... I think the play is Ice Fang, draw a card, and see what I can pitch. Draw trigger. Okay, I'll just force pitching Abhorrent Oculus. Because I can cast Flare Denial from hand later if I need to. Okay, we got it. 3-1. Losing only to Doomsday. All right, final round. We're up against the dedicated Oops player. Stay classy. MTGO. Man, I'm so sick of playing against this deck. They've been playing it a lot. I'm going to presume it's there. The best we can possibly do is force and have them. Yeah, I'll just hope that this force gets there. We're going to have a non-game. They're molded to 5. A lot of times they have protected. Molded to 3. Okay. Well, if they just scoop without like seeing anything I do, that would be a gift. Because they can't win on turn 0 with 3. Okay, so we'll get our turn. We're not out of the woods, though. They can totally win from here. Maddeningly. And so if I win, it's just going to be a very unsatisfying victory, unfortunately. I think the play is Tomio, because then I can brainstorm and then I can close. Yeah, I've got plenty of, interactive cards. If I play out the Phantasmal Shieldback, like, again, this is the only deck that plays this card. I've never seen this played in Legacy. I've seen it before. It's a deck. It's a card I've considered putting into my many decks, but I've never seen a deck where it was justified putting in like this. It's insane in this deck. All right, come on, force. All right, so let's go ahead and come across. I will play this out. Let's play this out. I'll come across. Then I'm going to brainstorm post-combat and hope to find one of many cards that can be a counterspell. Because I can play out the shield back if I need a second counterspell. And I do want to shuffle away some of these lands. Okay, unfortunately, this is not good. So that goes back. This goes back. Flips. All plus. I will shuffle. Get a blue, and I'll just play a shield back, and I can get the... Yeah. This sets us up for doing stuff later. But yeah, they know what we're on now. So hopefully one force is good enough. I mean, we're dead if it isn't. But if I force, I can regrow force, and that's fine too. I am thinking of going up to 4 of the Flare Denial. It's just so good with this guy. But I feel like that's a trap. I think I should be on 3. That's what Punishing Waterfalls is on. It feels so good when it's good, but it's so bad when you just don't have a creature out. It's like, an expensive counterspell. Okay, they're giving us another turn, which is great. Okay, there we go. I think we might be out of the woods. I'm going to minus and get a brainstorm and brainstorm. Is this correct? We could just keep going north. I feel like it is correct. We can move some stuff around. All right, Flare Denial is very good. Just go like that. Play this out. I guess I attack, and then I can just play play a Quelling Oracle, and maybe get up a land. So I'll have 3 counterspells in my hand. Okay, 4. Yeah, I don't see how we lose from here. We just keep attacking them to death, and they won't draw cards at a rate at which they can win. I don't think there's any danger here in letting this resolve, since we have so many. And all these, like, this is not force negation. This can stop creatures too. I'll let them see my hand. We have 4 counter spells. Okay. It's what I expected. All right. So against Oops All spells, we bring in the Force Negations. That's what they're there for. Consign to Memory is... I said it's not good against Thassa's Oracle, but it is good against Oops All spells. Unfortunately, so much of our deck just doesn't matter here. I could take out the Birthing Rituals. It just doesn't matter, sadly. We're not going to be able to do our thing. They won't let us do it. And then we need to cut 3 more cards. But like I like our entire deck being blue. We'll probably just close with an Oculus. Or we'll just have so many counter spells in our hand that they just can't do anything. Like we have, a lot of counter magic in this deck now. Tamio stays in. She was very good there. If we're cutting cards, Coiling Oracle is probably better than Ice Fang, but if they do have a creature plan, Ice Fang's way better because they have like Paraguay or something as their juke. So I think I could cut a land. I'm not going to need the second forest probably, so I'll just cut that, and I'll cut a Prismatic Vista so that way I can get my... No, is cutting too many? I think it's fine. I just need an island, and then I'll just chill with lots of counter magic. But I do want to cut something. I think I just cut an Oracle. Yeah, I don't want to go below 18 lands. I really want the 4-1 with my budget list here. So while we're waiting for my opponent, some thoughts. I can see why Punishing Waterfalls is not playing Ponder, even though it's like so obviously a strong card. Like the blue count is great. Like this deck really just has 4 non-blue, non-lane cards. So it's like 36 or something like that. Is crazy high. So you don't need the Ponder for the blue count. You don't really need the Ponder to find Birthing Ritual because you don't need Birthing Ritual to win. You just need to survive long enough. But the issue is fundamentally you don't have access to Plow. Like if you could play Bant, I think this is probably as good as we can hope to get. If they're keeping. We can Surveil. We have Force Negation. I'm going to keep this. I could try to mold to get 2. Please play it tapped. I think we'd lose now. Yeah, I'm almost certain we lose. They do have to stop Consign. But, like, surely they can stop Consign. They probably have more removal. Okay. So I can Surveil and hope to find another Force effect. I think it's better to do that than to play a Tamio here. And you may... Yeah, like I don't want to tap out of Consign just in case they play Belcher or some sort of trigger I can stop. Now you can't stop the one that has the activated cost. You can only stop the one that triggers when it comes into play. They're just going to Durst me again. Yep. Hopefully they don't go for it quite yet. Okay, and now I have a chance. Hedge Maze, let's find a Force effect. All right, that is good enough. Now I can play a Tamio and I have a Force. And then I can also Surveil a second time. And then I'm getting very close to near Hellbent, so Quantum Riddler might be able to draw me 2 cards. Yep, you got it. Do you have the Dark Ritual now? Okay, I think we're dead now. Okay. We tried. I mean, they had like triple protected. They can't immediately... Oh, wait, this is the one that triggers immediately. So we'll look at their deck. Okay, so I don't need to see all this crap. Just get out of my way. Triggers. I just want to see what they're playing. And again, I will once again petition Magic the Gathering online. Okay, they did bring in Charbelcher. Interesting. 2 of them. So I'm definitely glad I'm playing Consign. I don't think like mulliganing aggressively would have helped me there. They just had so much protection. So they're not playing... Oh, they're playing Pack 2? Holy cow, they're really defending the combo. I wonder what stability they're giving up. I don't see Cabal Therapy or Cabal Ritual in here. No, I do see it. I do see Cabal Therapy. I don't really care to familiarize myself with this deck. It feels dirty every time I even look at the deck lists on like the weekly Volrath's XP. He's got like This Week in Legacy. It's a great kind of weekly newsletter thing that he does, and I strongly recommend it. But like he always has to show, some oops spell deck, and I have to scroll past it. And a lot of people might be like, well, if you're not studying it, you're never going to beat it. So there's the Oracle, there's the Dread Return. I do study it a little bit, but it just makes me feel like I wish I didn't have to. Okay, so I see 3. So they may have a Charbelcher. No, wait. Yeah, they have 1 card left in hand. It might be a Charbelcher. Any other observations about their list? They're on all 4 Narcomoebas, which I don't usually see. They are playing the Spirit Guides. I don't know what else there is to glean from looking at this. I think we just concede and we go on to game 3 and we hope for the best. I'm not going to make any changes here. They weren't bringing a creature juke, so Dismember's not good. Harbinger of the Seas. Hey, is Harbinger of the Seas good? I think it's probably actually better than Coiling Oracle. Because if we get to turn 3, we can lock them off black. I don't think it's good enough. They have Charbelcher. I'd rather just develop my mana. Actually, it might be better than Abhorrent Oculus. I think I'm going to bring it in. Because they're not doing the creature juke. We don't have to kill them quickly. We just need to lock them out in some way. And this gets pitched to force just like this does. In fact, I'm going to take out Oculus. I'll bring in another Coiling Oracle because it's just a little easier to cast. Quantum Riddler gets to stay. That's a good win con. I would be surprised if they were juking again. I think they only have room on their sideboard for 1 juke, and it seems to be Charbelcher, just to increase the win con density. Okay, so this hand is an easy throwback. We need stack interaction above all else. This has Tamiyo Flare of Denial. It only has 1 land. If they have a slow start, Tamiyo can take over the game. They mulled they kept 7. I think I need to win with Tamiyo, frankly. I don't think we're winning. So I'll keep this. I'll put back a Tamiyo. And then I'll just open Tamiyo and I'll have Flare up. And it's almost certainly not enough. When they keep 7, you're almost always dead. Petal. Dotsies. Okay, that'll take our Flare. I could have forced there, but I'm hoping they give me a turn. I need to draw a land now so I can crack this. Oh, that's actually not that bad. But they'll probably just have another discard spell. They had 3 last game. We accumulate clues, but it doesn't matter because we're not going to have time to cash them in, really. But if we can flip her, that's good. Okay, so they are taking their time here. Oh, that's good. That's very good. I really wish I could play out a freaking mana, but now I've got 2 points of interaction at least. So what I will do is I will force negate a discard effect because I need to keep Flare of Denial to actually stop the card if it's a creature, which sucks having to do that, but it is correct, I believe. I'll pitch the Ice Fang. I don't think it's going to matter because that's 2 discard effects they've used. Okay, Cabal Ritual goes off. I'm not going to fight that. Okay, and this is what I was saying. We saved ourselves from death here. Do they have a pact? They don't. Okay, so we're still in it, but they could just drop freaking Charbelcher at any time. So we're not really in it. We're struggling here. That's a card I can at least play out. They're at 12. I mean, we might be able to get some beats going. I just have to hope that they have not good stuff. Come on, deck. Give me a land. Okay, that's not terrible. I won't complain about that, but it's not going to save us. Yeah, and I did take out 2 lands. It's worth noting. All right. Come on, land. That is kind of an honorary land. I'll go ahead and do this, and then I'll brainstorm, and I'm going to hope to make a land drop this turn cycle. All right, there we go. This is pretty fantastic. I don't need the second land. I am tempted to just keep both lands for now. Or I don't want this land. I just want a green source so I can start Coiling Oracle. But if for some reason we need to fight here, I'll feel pretty dumb if I tapped out of force. If I put 2 cards back. So I'm going to put this on top and we're just going to pass. And I've got 2 force effects in case I need them. Because they might have pact plus a win con. Okay. And now we can Coiling Oracle. Oh, and if I'd stacked that differently, no, I didn't have a green source, so I wouldn't have been able to get Coiling Oracle to work the way I wanted to. I am going to... Where's my forest? Oh, I can't get a forest. Okay, well, I guess I'm just going to crack a clue. That's nice because at least I'm cracking clues now. They're at 9. Dark Ritual. Battle Street Spy. Let's force it. And if they packed here, they're dead. No, they're not dead. Okay, we stopped it. The game continues. There's land. Now we have force negation up. I think it's better. What's better? To go ahead and Tomio here. I think it is worth Tomioing, and then we still have Coil. Yeah. I'll go ahead and come across. And I will play this out, and then I can also crack a clue here. I think I'm probably dead if they have... They scooped to that. All right, we beat them. Good riddance. Oops. All right. So let's go ahead and jump over here. So here's the deck. Tomio did actually help a little bit in the final round there. I'm not sure what I would change, frankly. Like, I'm very happy with the performance of this deck. So I 3-2'd and then I 4-1'd with it. And I mean, it's weird playing a deck without removal, because even my mono blue decks like play removal. Like, I always joke that like you don't actually need to own a bunch of tropical islands because you're never going to play just a straight blue green deck. And I think I own all 4 of the Trops, but I've only played them like all together in like one deck ever. I think Infect plays 4 Trops, but that's it. Like, so this is the rare kind of blue-green deck. These are very rare, and you're unlikely to encounter these in the wild. So Phantasmal Image definitely belongs in the sideboard. It does not belong in the main deck. Harbinger was such a freaking just insane card in that one round. Like, I am kind of thinking of going up, but I think it's a mistake to play 4. But 3 seems fine. You do want to draw it. It is really good. So but at the same time, like, I don't want to decrease my creature count too much, but you could cut 1. I think getting 4 of these is a trap. It was very good, but there's such a thing as too much of a good thing. I don't know what we cut to make room for Ponder. We have 24 creatures, which is 1 more. I stand by the notion that you don't want Uro in the deck. He just feels really slow and clunky. He dies when he comes out, so you don't get to sack him to Birthing Ritual. And there's no 4 in the deck to get for him. You'd rather just play more 2-drops that are easier to cast. I'm going to see if there's a blue 2-drop that could fit into this deck somewhere, because I don't want to just play Ponder. I mean, my instinct is, just play Ponder. It'll help you get out Abhorrent Oculus. It pitches the force, helps you fix your draws. But like playing 20 lands, we did get flooded a couple times, but it didn't feel terrible. But if we played the Ponder, then we can go down to 19 lands. And that is good. I mean, and we'd be cutting one of our hedge mazes. So if we did that, then we added Ponders. So that takes us up to, and we could just play less than, we could just play, 3 Tomios. And that's 61. We still need to cut a card. I'm just going to see if, I'm going to spend a few minutes doing some research, and we'll see if Punishing Waterfalls overlooks something. I'll be back. Okay, and I'm going to show you right now. This is a deck in Modern where Punishing Waterfalls takes a lot of inspiration from. He frequently talks about he finds decks that are working in Modern and see if he can port them to Legacy. And I can totally understand why he would bring in Daze and Wasteland, because, I mean, obviously Daze is a Legacy power level thing you can do. Currently, our deck only has Force, and that's the sole Legacy card in the deck. So it's a miracle that we were able to 4-1 without, Daze, Wasteland, that sort of stuff. But one card in here is, of course, this. I played it in Espervile. I own it. It's basically, it has, when he comes into play, Fibble, Thip, however it's pronounced, the Lost, you draw a card, and if he entered from your library, draw 2 cards. And he will enter from the library if you are playing with Birthing Ritual. So I think he might be a good candidate. It is 2 mana instead of 1, but it's not a bad card. I don't know if we actually need more 2-drops. If I take a look at these players to see their spread, they've got 1 3-drop. They've got 4, 8 2-drops, and then they've got Charlotte. So they've got 6. But the thing they're missing here is they don't have the Shieldback, which is like the best card, basically. So I'm not sure why they're doing that. They are playing 4 Flare of Denial, so there's precedent for doing that, but this is a format that doesn't have Force of Will. Yeah, but it also doesn't have Ponder. So Ponder is a card we could be playing that is legacy playable that is not legal in Modern, I don't believe. So, and again, if this sounds like, of course it's not legal in Modern, like I've never played Modern. I don't know. I just read about it occasionally. Sink Into Stupor is something that we could play that's a land and has text. But again, I'm not a huge fan of it because it gets wasted and you really want to have your lands underneath you. But it would be a way to play up to 20 lands without actually technically playing 20 lands. And it's also an answer to problematic permanents, which we have none. No answers. So what I got from that little journey is, first of all, we could play Fibblethip, instead of Tamiyo. I think if we cut the Tamiyo, Ponder is the natural replacement though, because... And so, like, one of the reasons is economic. Like, it dramatically reduces the cost of the deck if we remove Tamiyo. So now we just saved like $150, $160 by removing it. These other cards are cheap. In fact, other than Force, I don't know if Flare Denial or Abhorrent Oculus, if these are particularly expensive. I'll do a quick check. Hang on. All right, and here is the deck. If you just update everything to cheapest. So the expensive cards are Oculus, which is like $12. Quantum Riddler is expensive. He's like $45. I just got mine at great cost. Flare Denial is only $5. Force of Will, of course, is like $60. I don't expect that to change with reprints. Birthing Rituals, it's actually like $7 card. Interesting. Yeah, I never seen it played in Legacy before. Like before a few weeks ago, even though it's been out for like 18 months. Yeah. So this is, I would say, exactly a $1,000 deck. So here's what I think I would play if I played it again. Like assuming I wanted to bring Ponder in, this is still 21 lands. I think it's still enough that you're not whiffing. You don't want to whiff on Birthing Ritual. Yeah, let's check the probability. You have a 96% chance of seeing one or more creature at 21. Now, if you go up to 23, which is what Punishing Waterfalls, climbs to 97, but that's not a big difference, I don't think. I wouldn't dramatically alter my deck building to reduce the fail rate of it by like 1%. Now, keep in mind, it's going to be slightly less than that because you're going to be fetching lands out of your deck, but you're also going to have at least one creature in play when this is activated. So you'll technically be doing like 20 out of like, say 59, just to be fair. So yeah, 95.5. I think it's still pretty reliable. And a lot of times you'll have multiple triggers, so it's not the end of the world if you whiff on one. I think I whiffed on one, and it wasn't the end of the game at any point, as long as my flow was still going. So I think that you could fit Fibblethip is what I'm going to go with. I think you could fit him in there, and I mean he's another blue creature that works, and then you don't have to play Tamiyo, and we get it down to exactly $1,000. It's actually slightly less than $1,000 because I was going to play Sink Into Stupor, but then I realized, you know what? I don't really like Sink Into Stupor. Like, there was never any game where we lost because we couldn't remove some permanent. It turns out that just having giant flying Abhorrent Oculuses and stuff is good enough against, like, one card that could screw us would be Ensnaring Bridge, but like, how often does Ensnaring Bridge come up? Like, you stop the... It may be in Pox, but against Karnforge, you just stop the Karn, and then you never have to deal with it. We have 7 main deck counter spells. Again, I want to emphasize Punishing Waterfalls. I've got his list right here. Let's take a look at it. So his list plays a main deck Phantasmal Image and a main deck Tamiyo and a main deck Uro. And I'll just rule Uro out. I don't think he's where we want to be here. So he's playing a total of 23 creatures, but 3 of them are like these kind of random creatures that may be good, maybe not. I guess in a pinch, you've like got the game locked down and you just keep cycling through your deck and then you find it. But like, if that's the case, why not put Venser in the deck, right? Venser is totally fine. He can be cast. He can be found. You could even like sacrifice one of your Oculuses to get him. But I think that's the only 3 that we have in the deck. So it would be harder to put him in other than Harbinger. But that's the main thing. And he also plays like Otawara, which you can play. I think Otawara is probably better than... And he plays with Seiju too. But I just don't like having... I could see playing Otawara. Actually, I don't think that's a terrible call. But like, I just don't like having non-blue lands because we don't have access to this. He can just fetch the trop, and then Bob's his uncle. He's got green and blue for the rest of the game, assuming he doesn't get wasted. But we don't have that luxury. So I think he's onto something. With only one Tamio. Like, it was only good against Oops All Spells, and it was only good after we like several turns had passed and we'd like found land to start cracking. The main reason it's in the deck, I don't know. Do we flip her? We flipped her like, I know in the Oops All Spells, but I don't know if we ever flipped her any other time. And again, she just doesn't. She's not synergistic with what the deck is trying to do, which is really just quickly get an Abhorrent Oculus cooking. Were there ever times when we whiffed because we didn't find a 2? I'm really not sure about Fiveltip. I think Punishing Waterfalls may have said something about it in his league, which I linked below. If you've watched this far in this league, you should probably watch his version too. Yeah, I mean, in theory, it's great because you get to draw a card, but it's another card that just, dies the Bowmaster. And yeah, I don't think we need it, really. It's not what we're looking for. There's got to be something else we're looking for that everybody else is missing. If all those Modern players missed how cracked Phantasmal Shieldback is, they may be missing a lot of other stuff. I'm going to do a little more research. One sec. All right, so the only replacement I found that had at least 2 toughness, which I think is a prerequisite in this Bowmaster heavy meta, is Frostaugur. And it does synergize with the fact that we're playing a lot of snow permanents. Like, we're playing snow-covered islands, and we are playing Ice Fang Coatl. So, in theory, you could get a card off of it or 2 over the course of like a longer game. Is that better than Tamio? There's no way it's better than Tamio. I'm sorry. Like, the best creature that people are pining to have banned. So let's take a look at the list. So I think we could play Otawara here. It comes out. I don't think it's particularly expensive. So Otawara is our 20th lane I can get behind, just because it deals with anything and it doesn't use the stack. I think we do want Tamio in the deck though, and I do sadly think we want Tamio more than we want Ponder. So after all that soul searching and everything, really the only change I made was to swap Otawara for one of our lands. But I think you could play Breeding Pool and Hedge Maze. It does come up sometimes where you're like, oh, I really need a green source. I need green and blue. But it doesn't come up that often, but it can come up. And being able to get a Breeding Pool is nice because you don't necessarily, like, if you look at our lands, we've got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we've got 4 lands that can only fetch islands, and it's nice to be able to fetch a forest with those, even if it means doing some damage to yourself and, it being tapped. So I think all said and done, this is going to be closer to a $1,200 deck, but it is no reserve list. It's just that freaking Riddler is expensive, and so is Tamio, and I don't want to cut Tamio here. When I said earlier that, Force is the only legacy power level thing we're doing, we're actually doing Brainstorm too, which is substantial. It's a pretty good card when paired with Tamio. So I'm going to play some more leagues with this. Leave feedback on the deck building if you have some ideas for cards. It has to be like seriously legacy playable. Like, I'm not going to play some totally jank card. Like, this is arguably like jank, but it just happens to be incredibly synergistic. And I hope you pick this up and experiment with it if you have access to these cards. Birthing Ritual is so much fun to play with. It's just like Christmas morning, basically, going in and like, okay, we're going into my end step. Let's see what I'm going to get here. And it does have that kind of variable reward fun to it. So until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.